If I would have known then what I know now, I would have done it a whole lot different.
I swear, those are the worst obstacles because you're sitting there thinking you don't want your foot to get caught.
Hey, Matt here, and welcome to Mob Street. Now, I'm up here with both of my TWs because this video, I'm gonna need both of them to explain kind of what happened the other day. I went on my first group ride. That means like the first ride on TWs with folks that weren't family, folks that I didn't know. It was my first group ride. I want to tell you a few things that I learned because being the first time, there's kind of things that you don't know, that you kind of should know, that you wish you didn't know. Afterwards, in hindsight's always 20/20. So let's get into it. The very first thing that I learned, make sure you know where you are going and what kind of trail it is. Now, I say that because this trail was some dirt road, some single track, some gnarly single track, and I was kind of, well, I chose the wrong bike pretty much to take with me. I took my 2021 and I took it just as it sits right now. Saddlebags, tires, tire pressure, everything is how this bike went on that trail. And if you saw the video, you could see, hey, it was kind of gnarly for me, being a first time, single track trail and all those sorts of things. And I want to tell you why. So when I say know the trail and know where you're going, you want to make sure your bike is set up correctly. So on my 2021, I have the Dunlop K180 tires. I had my Nelson Rig Hurricane saddlebags. And now I took it this way because I rode 60 miles on the road to meet up with these guys before I left. So this setup was perfect for the road, but not necessarily for the trail. I had about 20 PSI in my front and my rear tire. I had those saddlebags on there, which made it that much wider than this one. And it was just kind of a bad combination. So one of the guys there was like, can we take those saddlebags off if we need to and strap them to the top of the rack? It's like, yeah, sure, we should be able to. And I can see now why he said that, because some of that trail was so narrow that the saddlebags were taking a heck of a beating. I mean, hitting trees. There was one corner that we came around. I came around a little too fast, and there was a fence with barbed wire, like probably 150 yards worth of it. And my bag hit and bounced me off to the other side. And I thought, great, my saddlebag is ripped. Looking back, good job, Nelson Rig, because these bags did not rip at all. So they held up really well. But it would have been better to take maybe a duffel bag like I have, with this setup. I should have taken the duffel bag because I had water with me. I had some snacks with me because I didn't know how long we were going to be. And it ended up being about, well, 10 hours on the bike. Round trip was 160 miles. So I had my lunchbox in one of those bags. I had my jacket in another one because when I left it was 36 degrees. All right, it is Saturday, September 24th, about 7:25 in the morning. I'm getting ready to go on a ride in Springville with a bunch of other TW guys. I've got about 60 miles of a ride to meet up with them. Got the TW going, and it is currently 36 degrees. Here goes. And when I came back, it was about almost 70 degrees. So I had to have somewhere to put my stuff. But my lunchbox with my water, my snacks, and the other bag had my gear. When I got warm, I could just throw it in there, and my camera gear. All of that, I should have thought a little more clearly and condensed it all down to one duffel bag on the back, because then I have the width of the bike and I'm not extending that in hitting trees. Now I want to say about the tires, because these tires are great for the street and they pretty much not great for everything else. So when we got onto the trail, not only me, but one of the other riders aired their tires down. I had to do the same with mine. Went down to about 5 to 8 psi because we were going over mud, rocks, gnarly trails, or gnarly terrain where we had to have a lot of grip. And this guy doesn't grip near as good as this guy or the stock tire on the back of the 2019. Another thing that I learned about from my first single ride my first group ride was the cool thing. Like I said, I was really nervous because the extent of my dirt riding has been mostly like wider trails, so big enough for ATVs or side-by-sides or dirt roads or stuff like that. I have not done very much single track. And when he said, when the description said there were a few parts in there that were pretty technical, it's like, oh man, I'm gonna be really bad at this. But the cool thing about going on these rides is you're riding with other folks who are probably, hopefully, more experienced than you are, and they can give you tips and tricks on how to get over some of these obstacles, how to handle the bike. And that's why it's fun to go with other TW riders who have done a lot of stuff like that, because they've learned how the bike handles. They've learned, hey, this is what you can do to get over this. This is what you can do to work your way around that. So going with those other guys made life a whole lot easier. And I was worried for my own abilities or lack of abilities on this trail, but going with guys, like I said, that have already done it, they helped me up over the technical stuff. They said, hey, why don't you air down a little bit here, and look at those tires, they're not made for this stuff. That one actually grips quite a bit more, so take that one next time, and just all those different things. So, and another thing with that trail, I am extremely happy that I have the Ricochet skid plate on the bottom of both of these. I have the Tusk D-Flex handguards on both of these, which performed extremely well. The Ricochet skid plate on both of them, and glad I did, because there was one spot where I was trying to go up over that trail and the rocks were just, I mean, there was nothing even there. Not, I'm saying even as in like you couldn't just roll over them nice and easy. There were rocks all over the place. I came up over one and that skid plate just smacked the top of a rock extremely hard, and the stock skid plate would not have stood a chance, whereas that Ricochet held up like a champ, just kept going, slid right over the top of it. It hit hard, but it slid up over the top of it and did really, really well. If you want handguards, I highly recommend the Tusk D-Flex with the MX shields. The Pro shields are a little bit bigger, but these ones did the job extremely well. Having the bike set up, if you're going to be doing stuff like that, chances are you're going to fall over. I hope you don't, but if you're like me and you do, it's nice to have handguards and a rack that will help protect the bike. Those are the things that I have personally learned from my first group ride. The group of guys that I went were awesome. They were very helpful, very friendly. They've done stuff like this a little bit more than I have, so their insight was extremely valuable in helping me navigate everything that I was going over. So we will be having another group ride here in Utah. I don't know exactly when it will be, but we will definitely send out an invitation. It was a blast, and I hope y'all can make it to the next one. If you can't, I'm going to be recording that one as well, and the invitation will be over the Instagram. So we are going to leave it at that. I hope you found this video informative. I'm Matt. This is Mob Street. Thanks for watching.